Oh, Shanti.
Good morning. Um, Today is our Health and Wellness Sunday. So I take great pleasure in introducing Sister Christina. Sister Christina is not new to Los Angeles. Los Angeles is her home. So, Sister Christina, welcome home. But there are a few new souls who don't know you. So I'll be introducing you. Sister Christina has been part of Los Angeles family for a long time, but today she's joining us from all the way from Florida. So, welcome and thank you for taking out time for your divine family. So, to briefly introduce you, Sister Christina, you have been a wonderful soul sister to many of us here in Los Angeles, and your meditation
तो
comment
कोई टाइम है के चल
and your meditation commentaries are the one which we miss the most. So, Sister, in Christina's words, to put it about today's workshop, as spiritual beings, we have a constant relationship with the body through our thoughts, feelings, and actions. In this workshop, we will explore more about how to create a harmonious relationship of love with one's body and elevating this relationship for better health and wellness. So, without taking much time, I want to give all the time to her so that we can take most benefit out of this workshop. Couple of announcements, and one more thing I forgot to mention, that Sister Christina is also the author of a book which is named as Fed Up to Wonderstruck, which is available on Amazon. And today we have uh, Vivek Kashyap, her husband, translating it in Hindi for us. हिंदी में भी ट्रांसलेशन अवेलेबल है जिनको नहीं मालूम आपके कंप्यूटर के ऊपर एक ग्लोब का आइकॉन है उसके ऊपर आप क्लिक करना तो उसके ऊपर हिंदी क्लिक करना और उसके बाद म्यूट ओरिजिनल ऑडियो यू कैन डू दिस एंड द ट्रांसलेशन विल बी available to so welcome to Vivek Bhai also, and couple of announcements are that let us have a pen and paper handy because this is going to be an interactive workshop, and as usual we will wait for the whole presentation to be over, and then we will have enough time for question and answers. So over to you, Sister Christina. Welcome again. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Divyaban. Om Shanti. And
Om
thank you
Shanti.
for this invitation. Om Shanti. So you took in so many beautiful thoughts from the brother from Madhuban and from the Murli. So let's just take a moment of silence before we start. Take a deep breath. Go inside to this beautiful sanctuary of yourself. This beautiful garden inside yourself that is so quiet and so peaceful because Baba has made it so divine. Baba has helped you make yourself a wonderful place to be, a delightful place to be inside your own being. So calm, so loving inside the self. Baba has helped us to see our goodness. Baba has helped us to see our own beauty. Thank you, Baba. And now let's come back together and be aware of each other. And can you hear everything good? Can you, someone say, okay, great. Thank you. So there is so much to this topic, right? About how we relate to our body in a divine way. And we're just going to go into the first part of that today because there's a lot of elements to this, and a lot of you would already be doing a lot of the things to have a good relationship with your body. But it is kind of there, it's deep in a
Sister
sense.
Kristina,
Yeah,
can you just hold for a second? Vivek Bhai has a issue with the translation, so
sure. Maybe I'm going too fast also. So let's just hold Baba's remembrance.
नहीं सुनाई दे रहा है हिंदी में अभी तक
सुनाई दे रहा है हिंदी
अभी
में।
सुनाई दे रहा है ओके
हाँ हाँ सुनाई।
ओके अभी हो गया he
You
just
okay?
accepted yes go ahead sister go ahead
Okay.
thank you
If I go too fast, please say something. So basically, you know, the relationship we have with our body it's multi-layered, it's deep. And of course, at some point, if you want to, we could go into food habits and exercise habits and these kinds of things. But before we go into that, we have to really check that our consciousness and our mindset is right in terms of our relationship to our body and the way that we view our body, our attitude towards it. That's sort of the foundational aspect. And when we souls incarnate, Baba said today that we're incarnations for world transformation. And we fortunately know that we are the soul, we are the light, we are the energy, and we're not the body. But we also know that we spend almost the entire cycle, if not the entire cycle, in a body. We spend, right? We might spend a moment in the soul world, or we might spend moments in the soul world when we're meditating, but almost the entire time of eternity, we're in a relationship with matter. So that's why it's so fundamental to get it right. It's so important because this, when the soul incarnates into matter, right, and its subtle body is there also, but that is sort of the first relationship we have when we come into the cycle, is the soul develops a relationship with matter. And the matter in this body is such a gift to us, because without this matter, we would never be able to express our divine qualities, experience any divine qualities from other souls. We would never be able to express what's in our heart, our feelings. We would not be able to express what's in our mind or experience our creativity, create things with our hands. So everything that's in the soul becomes possible to experience and to have even the experience of life because of this matter, because we get the gift of having this vehicle, these vehicles. We take many of them, right? We go in and out of different instruments, but without this instrument, the soul is more in a dormant state, and it doesn't have experience. So the bodies are really something that we have to have so much gratitude for, really, right? Because of the way the soul, the light, the energy interacts with the physical world, It allows us to experience everything within us, even our relationship with God. We wouldn't even be able to experience God in the way we do, with the understanding we have, and all the variety of experiences of God without the body, right? Because it's when we're in the body that we can use the intellect to understand the depth and the breadth of eternity and the Murle, and all of this becomes possible because we take this matter. So when we let's take a moment, a little break on that. We're just highlighting first the importance of the relationship with the body. It is the first relationship and a very important one. But let's go ahead and take the pen and paper, and let's think about other relationships with, say, your kids, your other people on the spiritual path, or your friends, your parents, whoever is in your life. And the first thing we're going to write out is, you can put number 1. So we're going to make a small list. And the list is, when these qualities are present in a relationship, it makes me feel close. These qualities make me feel close and want to be in that relationship with that soul. So write down those, just take a moment, we'll go into silence. What are those things that are in a relationship with another person, we're talking in this moment, that make you want to be more in that relationship, that make you want to stay in that relationship? What are those qualities that make you feel supported in a relationship? And in case you're done, I'll give you the second one. And if you're not done, you can finish the first one first. The second one is, what are the qualities that make me want to get out of a relationship with another person? What are the things that somebody might do that make you feel like this is not supportive of me and it's not bringing out my best self? The second one isn't as fun to think about, right? But it's important. It's an important part of the process to think about those things that we find unhealthy in a relationship. And you'll see why in a minute. It could be things like criticism, or only someone who always points out only the negative things and not the positive things, that might make you feel less close and not want to be around somebody, things like that. Judgmental, you can think of maybe very superficial people, make you not want to be in relationship. So why don't, if you could unmute, and why don't you share like popcorn style, a quality, something that makes you want to be closer or makes you feel supported in a relationship.
Respect.
Mm, yes.
Honesty.
Mm. Good.
Someone who listens to you.
Mm. That's a really good one.
Love.
Love. Yes. Good. What else?
हमेशा सहयोगी हो
Accurate.
फैमिली के लिए।
Understand.
Mm.
Purity, purity,
Let's hear a couple more
सहयोगी
really good ones. What else? What else is it?
Cooperation. It's been that talks to.
Yeah, cooperation.
commitment,
Mm. Good.
kindness,
Kindness.
caring,
Mm. Yes.
Merciful.
surrender,
Merciful. Surrender. Mm.
Generous.
Mm. Good.
Right time to do right things.
Mm.
Accurate.
Accurate. Yes. Great. Awesome. So if you really see this list, these are the divine virtues, right? These are the things Baba says are the original, it's the original nature of the soul, all of these beautiful divine qualities. And so when somebody is expressing that care and love, regard, accuracy, all those beautiful divine qualities, you feel close to them, you feel supported, and you feel healthy in that relationship. You can thrive in that relationship, right? You can grow and you can be your best self and with that other person too, because they're expressing those divine qualities. Okay, great. And what are some of the things that make you want to move away from someone? You don't feel supported, you kind of shrink around them, or you just don't feel good energy. So what are some of those things that don't support you?
Judgment.
Judgment.
communication,
A lack of communication.
Outspoken.
Anger.
Angry.
Selfish.
What was that?
Selfish.
Selfish.
Doubting.
What was that?
Doubt.
Now?
Doubt. Someone have talking, then doubt.
Oh, doubt. Yeah, doubting. Okay. Yes.
Not accepting as they are each other. Not accepting each other.
Not accepting.
Talking negative.
What did you say?
Negative. Talking negative.
Yes. Negativity.
controlling,
Yeah. So all of these things make us feel unsupported. We don't thrive in that relationship, right? Okay, so now look at your list of all the things that make you healthy and happy, like thrive in a relationship, and look at the list of the things that don't make you do well in a relationship. And I want you to circle the ones on both lists that you think you do towards your own body. Those qualities you feel, maybe you feel you're judgmental towards your own body or health. So if you are, then you circle that one. Maybe you feel you're very loving towards your body and your health, so you circle that one. So look at this list and see if there's any on either list that you have a tendency to do sometimes, or maybe you do all the time, in relationship to your own physical health and well-being. So can I get any brave soul to just say yes if there are some things on the unsupportive list that they do with their body sometimes? Anybody found any of those tendencies? Or you can raise your hand.
Getting upset sometimes.
Yes,
Angry.
yes. Why doesn't it work how you want it to?
Yes. Think negative.
Judgmental.
Yes, good, good. So we can see, this is an easy exercise to see that we are very powerful vibrational stars. We are souls. We have so much power in our vibrations. And every time we create a thought and a feeling, it creates a vibration. So what we feel and think about our body receives that energy. And it receives it immediately because it's right here. And so when we bring these kind of qualities, the qualities that don't support our health and well-being in a relationship, when that is present in the relationship with our body's health and well-being also decreases, right? So for example, I'll give you an example of myself. Like when I'm in a relationship with a person, a soul, if they always notice the thing that's wrong instead of the 99 things that are right, that bothers me. That's unhealthy for me if someone just sees the negative things. And sometimes, you know, I've noticed, like, especially when I was younger, I would tend to notice with my body the things that weren't how I wanted versus the 99 things that were working great, right? So we see that tendency to be negative or to point out the thing that isn't working in our mind, that becomes unhealthy for our health and well-being in this relationship, right? Because if we really, really look at the situation here and the reality of it, the reality is that this matter, this body we're in, is this incredible machine. It's absolutely amazing. And even if one or two things are not working well at the moment, or they hurt, or they're not doing what we want, but all the rest of the body is functioning perfectly, or it's functioning well. And it's there in a sense serving you. It's there in a sense doing so much good for you, right? So if we were to flip that and start to notice all of the things that are going well, all of the things that it is doing well, so then we transform that relationship, we bring the quality in of gratitude. That gratitude energy creates a positive vibration in our body, right? And so this is the fundamental first layer to creating a divine relationship with the body, is really seeing what divine qualities can I bring into this relationship more. And gratitude is a really good one to start with, to really acknowledge what the body's doing, to appreciate it, to be thankful for this day in this body, right? We know right now in the world, there's so many people leaving suddenly, and we don't know how long we will have this vehicle, right? But every day that we wake up, even if there's a little pain here or a little something there, we have to And we know we souls have been around the cycle, and we have some karmic accounts with matter. We're working it out, and the body is doing its very best within what it's dealing with right now, in a world that isn't pure, in a world that has a lot of things to battle with, you know, pollutants and all these things. And our whole cycle of, you know, having used matter. So the body, considering all of that, every day it's doing so much good for us, right? So if we wake up and we start the day with gratitude, it creates an automatic elevated vibration in the body. And bringing in as many of those qualities that you put on your list on the top of the relationships that make you feel supported, healthy, cared for. So if on that list you feel close when somebody listens to you. Listening is another great thing we can do with our body. Listening. What does it need right now? What is it telling me? And listening is always good for a relationship. Then you have accepting. Accepting is also always positive thing, right? So accepting what's going on in the body. Maybe you listen to the body and it has some pain, and then you listen, you accept it, and then you care for it. You know, you become dedicated to care for what's needed in that moment. And so in this way, we start to develop this very loving, symbiotic, appreciative relationship with matter, seeing the good, valuing it so much, and to stop focusing in on what is not how we want it, but actually to look at the other 99% that is working well and to feel so thankful for it. And with that energy, it's going to just bring more and more health and wellness into the body. Now, the good thing is, we also know that this is the time when we could leave at any time. We don't know, Baba says that, right? It's untimely death now. So even if I'm creating these sanskars of love and appreciation and this relationship with matter, and tomorrow is my time to leave this costume and go to the next, I'm taking those sanskars of having this benevolent, high vibrational relationship with matter. I'm taking those sanskars that I'm creating of not judging my body, not depreciating my body, not looking at all the negative things, but actually feeling thankful, listening, you know, so that when I take the next form too, I come into the matter with this good energy for it. And imagine if we come in with that sanskar, it's only going to build a better body, right? If I come in with a good relationship with matter, with the body, it's only going to make me a healthier body, right? So really, relationships we have with everything, right? Soul comes into the body. It has a relationship with its body, with its energy field. We have a relationship with our mind, we know that, with our heart, our emotions. And then of course we have a relationship, Baba talks about the karmic relationships with time, with money, with material, with physical material. So in life, we're constantly relating to things. And there is basically the way in which we interact with all of these different things. That makes the relationship. The way that I connect with something is the relationship. So I, the soul, am connected to my body. I, the soul, am connected to my mind, to my heart, to my energy. And ultimately, we souls know that we're the trustees of all of that, and we're also the masters of it. We don't have to feel in bondage in these relationships, that we're in bondage to how the body is, what it's going through, or how the mind is, or our feelings, but we can actually become, you know, the one in this relationship that listens, that accepts and transforms things, right? We can elevate the way we relate to all these things. that is how we become the master of those things, right? Like Baba says, you become the master of the elements, right? And we know that the true meaning of a master, especially in the golden age of terminology, is like to be benevolent. And, you know, the master is very benevolent, right? So when we start to have this love, acceptance, all these divine virtues in this relationship with our body, then as long as we're in it till the end of this birth, the body will be healthier, vibrating on those divine energies you're giving it. You know, so if you notice that you tend to have frustration with the body or judgment with the body or different things, try to bring in the opposite. Try to see what's the divine quality that's the antidote. And especially gratitude, you know, starting with gratitude, that's really huge, because there's so many things to be thankful for even when something isn't going right. And then listening and caring. Once you listen and you hear what the body needs. And we can always think for any human in our life, and also this goes for our body, this human is doing the best they can right now with what they have. Let me appreciate that goodness in them. Let me see the positive. And same thing with the body. This body is doing the best it can with everything it has right now for us. So let me appreciate and support. Let me support the body with my divine qualities and thoughts and feelings towards it to become its very best self. And that's the same thing we have to do in relationships with each other, right? Let me believe in the goodness of this other human. And Baba says, look at the good qualities, right? And let me support them coming higher and higher to their best self. So same thing we have to do with our physical well-being. So this is the first step. It's an attitude and a vision adjustment to the way that we see this relationship with matter. And it really is so foundational for our life, right? Like we wouldn't even think about this. We wouldn't even ever hear the Murli or get to experience God or the divine family like this without this vehicle we have. So it's really so precious, and we should have so much, you know, appreciation for it, really. So these are my initial thoughts, is like changing the relationship. And I want to hear, you know, I want to stop there and hear any feedback, thoughts, comments on this, or any questions. And then after that, we can meditate together on this.
This is Kalpana, and I really like what you're saying. When it comes to relationships, you immediately get whether this relationship is sustaining me or is it non-supportive of me. But when it comes to our body, we're always critical about how things are. So that comparison has been a good way to reset my focus when it comes to the body. I really like that.
I'm glad it was helpful to see that perspective, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
like if you had a best friend, and how would you treat them? Like the someone you love very much, right? And our body really is like our first best friend in that sense.
And we're never grateful for how much it does for us.
No, and we live in this world that is in the Iron Age that's so focused on external perfection and almost like using and abusing the body to try to attain, people try to attain their self-worth, like knowing that they're a worthy being through the physical form, right? And there's the whole lens is completely wrong because it's body conscious. Here we know that we're not the body. And so we have to remind ourselves of that, but we also know, therefore, the value of it and what it's doing for us. And you're right. If we can change that, what we've been trained to in the Iron Age, which is to be like very judgmental about it for all the wrong reasons, and then change it to gratitude and appreciation, you know, then that's really the direction of going into a divine relationship with it.
And your body gets that message. Every time you have a negative thought, it gets a negative message. And so thank you.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, sis.
Oops.
And you know, it doesn't mean that we don't care for it in the highest way too, right? With the food we put in. Actually, the more love, appreciation, and respect we develop for it as a soul to matter, the more we would realize the importance of the fuel that's going inside. And we can talk about that another time. But the level of gratitude and care will then naturally sort of transform what we want to put in it too. Anybody else?
I just want to share something, sister. Thank you so much for that, bringing in that perspective. Because, to be honest with you, I wasn't really paying too much attention to my body. I was all like, it's all just soul. You know, I have to be so conscious, so conscious. And yes, we have to be so conscious, but the realization that the first thing that you touch is your body is the first thing that you have a relationship with here in this material world. That was a very fresh perspective for me, and I really appreciate how you bring out you know, it's very subtle way that you bring out that relationship, and kind of gave us a fresh perspective on changing the attitude and the way we treat ourselves, because I mean, at least I have been guilty about that I don't really care about the body. I was all like, okay, we have to be so conscious. It's okay. Body is there. It's okay. So I'm grateful for your perspective, and thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you, sister.
Thank you, sis. I think we all go through that when we get swept off our feet, you know. This love with God takes us totally beyond the body, and we're supposed to go into that totally soul conscious space, which is bigger and beyond the physical. And I think after time, you know, we come to realize also that the more that I develop the love and care in this relationship with the matter, the more that I, you know, can do this service, or I can experience all the things I'm being taught, and I can express them. And yeah, so it's really good to have that balance. Yeah.
I think
Thank
if we have a good relationship with the body, respectful and loving and gratitude, we can help it heal also when it is traumatized or there are ups and downs of health. It could be beneficial. It will improve our immunity and health.
So true. Yes. Your thoughts, your feelings, and like, you know how when the daddies or someone gets sick in Madhuban and everyone sends Sakash, right? It's this like connection with Baba, but all these beautiful thoughts and feelings for healing going towards that soul, and it definitely reaches. And same thing, like right here, have you ever like hurt something and you put your hand on it immediately to help it to feel better, you know? And that's just a small example of how our energy can be healing right away. But yeah, every time we create a positive or negative vibration towards the body,
Pampering, yeah. You can do pampering sometimes.
What'd you say?
You can pampering to your hand.
Yeah. 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 Like if you had somebody working for you 24/7 without a break, another person, would you want to sometimes sit them down and say, let me give you a massage, you've been working 24/7, or give you a bath, or, it needs that. It needs that care. It needs that nurturing, absolutely, to work at its best. Yeah, good point.
Sister Christina, I have a question. It's kind of very conflicting question because whatever you have presented today is so beautiful, and it's actually a very new perspective which we never think of, and it was wonderfully put. So thank you for that. But I have this question now, where the time is so delicate and Maya is stepping in so much. How do we know that, like, yes, we all have to care for our body, but how do we know whether it is Maya, or we don't want to be in a place where it is late realization that, oh, this was not needed, but Maya came in the form of like my bodily things. I don't know whether I am making you understand the question.
Yes, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, I think for me, when I think about it, think about what wouldn't matter if you left. Let's say you have only 10 more days or 1 more year in this body. And so you're thinking, well, do I need to sit in yoga for that 1 year, or, or that amount of time? Now, Baba talks about karma yoga, right? And so we can still be in yoga and still do other things. And one thing is, in this current body, what you're doing, is it increasing your health and well-being in this moment that would enable you to do your service, to feel better, to be able to be more, vibrant in life right now? Because whatever time you have left, you want to be feeling your best, right? So, and also those sanskars of caring for you're taking with you. So there is an extreme version of this where if you became over focused on this aspect and the others weren't in balance. But what we're talking about is we're not taking care of our body for any of the Iron Aged body conscious reasons. That's the differentiation. We're not going to go and spend 5 hours a day in a gym to become a bodybuilder right now, because that's not important, right? But we can make sure that we create balance and health in our body. We go for a walk. We do things that you could do and still have yoga. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. But, sometimes the mistake has come when we only focus on the soul and we don't balance this taking care of the physical health, right? And then that can impair what we can do. So we have to see that it is a divine quality to have care, respect, regard for matter, to listen to matter, to live in a way with it that's harmonious and loving and divine, right? But the overboard would be if well, at least in the Iron Age, and I don't think that, unless it's a very special case, we're not going to be prone to going to that extreme where we're only focused on the body, because we're not looking for, it's not like I'm trying to attain. Well, this could be an issue for some people, and you have to look at that separately, which is if I try to use my body to attain my self-respect or self-esteem. We're not talking about that here, right? Here we're looking at seeing the body as a valuable instrument. And so we want to strengthen it and respect it so that in all the days that we're in it, we have this beneficial relationship with it. And it can support us in the way that we support it. It can only support us if we support it. So there has to be a balance. And you can find ways to take care of it in this divine way as you're having yoga. It doesn't have to be a separate thing. And really think about the difference of the old body conscious way of seeing the body is like people use it for something, or they try to feel good about themselves through it. That's not what we're doing. We know that we're not the body, but we're developing this tremendous amount of respect for matter. I mean, think about how would we live to 150 in Golden Age? How is it possible? We will have had to develop such a profound understanding of nature, of our physical matter, and be listening in a way that we can respond and listen to what it needs. That matter lasting that long in a healthy way, it comes from a refined ability to correspond with, to listen to nature, and for us souls to exist in harmony with it. And we have to develop those sense scars now. And one big piece to that is the first thing we talked about, which is just our attitude towards it. And to stop judging our body, but to look at it more from that sense of, oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me have another day and experience life. And I will treat you with the most respect that I can today. I won't completely ignore you when you're in pain, right? Imagine being in a relationship with someone and they completely ignored you if you were in total pain. So we don't want to do that with our body. And think about this too. If you didn't have that body you're in, we would never have this knowledge. So it's such a fundamental part of us being able to be souls and experience the cycle. So we're learning to make this thought process and feelings towards it very elevated, to change it from, you know, a lot of times when we look at the body, it's through that old body conscious lens of this is wrong, that is wrong, versus, oh, wow, I get another day. Thank you, elements. Thank you, body. You support me and I'll support you. You know what I mean? It's more of like, in any way, even if you did nothing, you still have a relationship with the body just based on the way you're thinking about it, just based on the way that you see it. And that part you can start to tweak at first. And tell the body it is good. And this goes for any relationship in our life, with our body, our mind, our heart, other people. If we can start reaffirming the goodness and say, you are good, thank you, because seeing all the little things that aren't good only takes our energy further down. But if we can keep seeing the good, keep appreciating the good, then everything keeps going up.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Sister Kristina. It was so nice. You know, you came and gave us really a good insight about being with the body and the mind kind of together. And don't be a stranger. You know, you are a local sister here. We know you for many, many years. So just come back again from time to time and share your experience, share your knowledge, and make us all get better and better. And thank you, Vivek Bhai, for translating this thing. It's a teamwork from everybody. Thank you, Om Santi. We'll just do a little short meditation song and then we'll say goodbye.
Could I do a small guided meditation?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Definitely.
Okay. Thank you all for being here. You had like a half a day retreat this morning from early, and thank you, Geetha Ben.
Okay, before that, you can conduct meditations. It's really nice. And tonight, especially, we have a special Bhatti from Spark Group from Madhuban. They are coming for 1 hour. So 6:30 to 7:30, don't miss out. And then afterwards, we will more and more. Sister Kristina also help us to guide the meditation. Okay. Om Shanti.
Om
Yeah.
Shanti. Thank you, everyone, for being here, staying, and Divya, Ben, and Dilabai for setting it up. It was really nice. So let's take these few moments to really create this loving and divine connection with matter. So first, just start by just taking deep breaths into your belly. And notice how when you take these deep breaths, you become more present in this moment. And now bring your awareness to the center of the forehead and allow your breath to remain deep and natural. And as the consciousness, as the eternal divine light within this body, as the pure energy in the body, just as you're sitting here looking out through the eyes, or even if they're closed, that's fine too. And as you are aware of the breathing, just become aware that the body is there. The body is sitting there on the chair, and you, the soul, are inside this body. And let's just have some thoughts together. Okay, so the first thought we're going to have is, wow, what an amazing experience to be a soul incarnated into this body at this amazing time of transformation, to be able to experience all of this awareness, all of this spiritual knowledge, all of the realizations, because I'm in this body right now at the confluence age. In this body, I've received this knowledge. And feel this sense of fortune, and feel this gratitude towards these elements. And tell these elements, thank you. And tell this body about its goodness. You are good. You are good. You are so good. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me to have all these spiritual experiences in this lifetime. Thank you. I am grateful that you have supported me, even though it's the end of this kalpa and you've had to face so many things that are not perfect in the world, but you have supported me every day the best you can. Thank you. And let's tell the body, let's make a little promise that as long as I'm in you, as long as this body remains, 10 days, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, I will take care of you. I will support you so you can support me. I will love you. I will appreciate you. Thank you. You are good. You are so good. And now feel in your body. Do you feel like the vibration is a little bit vibrant? Can you feel that? That's your cells. Your body is responding. It feels happy. Hearing those loving affirmations. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
जब से तेरा प्यार मिला दिल रहता है खिला खिला जब से तेरा प्यार मिला दिल रहता है खिला खिला ओ बाबा तुमने तो हमको हीरा बना दिया ओ बाबा तुमने तो हमको हीरा बना दिया शुक्रिया 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 बाबा तेरा शुक्रिया मुरली में है बाबा तेरी जादू खुदाई मुरली में है बाबा तेरी जादू खुदाई झूम रहा है मन का मधुबन महकी अमराई झूम रहा है मन का मधुबन महकी अमराई ऐसा ज्ञान दिया हमको जो हमसे मिला दिया ओ बाबा तुमने तो हमको हीरा बना दिया शुक्रिया 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 बाबा
Thank you, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.